Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is very much not your nan's Toyota Yaris, unless your nan is secretly a Finnish rally driver on the side. No, this is the long-awaited Gazoo Racing Yaris, a 260 horsepower, four-wheel drive, small hot hatch rally reprobate thing. And you know what? It's one of the most special cars I can remember driving in the past 3 years. It's phenomenal. And I'm going to show you why. And yes, I realise that I've spoiled the entire video by saying it's good, but I mean, just look at it. It's a WRC homologation car. It wasn't going to be bad. Now, before I go any further, I just want to explain what the whole homologation thing is about. Toyota has a team in the World Rally Championship. It's like Formula One, but on mud, and way more entertaining, and requires actually some driver skill. The car that Toyota wants to use in the WRC and has been using is the Yaris, but there's a new Yaris, looks like this, and they need to homologate that for WRC. Now the thing is, their rally car has to be made of the same materials as the road car, or a road car, and it has to be the same dimensions and the same shape. Now obviously the normal Yaris isn't that extreme looking, but if they made one that was really extreme for the road, that would form a really good basis for a rally car. That's what this is. We haven't had homologation specials really since the 90s with Subarus and Mitsubishi Evos and things like that. So this basically has not very much to do with the normal Yaris. The only things carried over are the headlights, taillights, and I think the mirrors. It's got massive arches. The roof is 95mm lower than the normal Yaris. It's almost a completely different body. It's got aluminium doors, aluminium bonnet, aluminium boot lid, and a carbon reinforced plastic roof, because that means they can then use all those weight saving things in the rally car. Now COVID has kind of knocked that new rally car on the head. It might actually never race in WRC, but that makes this even more special because it's a homologation car for a car that never raced, potentially. I'm going to stop getting quite so excited, but this is really special. I'll show you around it and hopefully explain why. As I mentioned, the roof is 95mm lower than on standard Yaris and made of this lightweight carbon fibre reinforced plastic. Reason for that is because on the rally car is going to be a massive wing out here, and this means that they can get more clean air to that rear wing. So almost every aesthetic thing on this road car has been designed to make the rally car faster. Was that a motorbike? I think it was. Right, I'm in a car park to do a slightly COVID-safe tour of the interior of the Yaris GR, Toyota GR, Yaris GR. It's all fairly plain Toyota stuff, but the steering wheel is pleasingly thin, and actually the steering feel is really impressive. It's quite weighty, but it doesn't feel artificial. It just feels like, I don't know, it feels like a really serious car when you're driving it. Steering is weighty. The gear shift is also quite wonderful, actually. It's notchy and short throw, and it feels nice. And if you move all this crap down here, there's an IMT button, which is, I think, intelligent manual transmission, which will help you on the upshifts. It's not an auto blipper. It just gives you a bit of rev hang, I feel like, on the upshifts to smooth things out. Otherwise, you change driving modes between sport and track here. That sets up the four-wheel drive system in a different way, and it sharpens the throttle response as well. Okay, so GR Yaris then, what's it like to drive? Let's find out. We're on a country road. That's 60. Right, first things first, that 1.6 litre engine might be a 3-cylinder, it might only be a 1.6, but it's packing 260 horsepower and 360 Newton meters of delicious torque. And the first thing that grabs you is just how much mid-range punch it has. Honestly, in third gear, from 40 to 60, it feels ballistic for such a small engine. It feels like a proper little rally weapon, which is obviously exactly what this car wants to be. Second thing you notice, gear shift is really good. It's kind of got that heavyweight notchiness that I first experienced on a Mark 1 Ford Focus RS. The suspension, it's firm, but steering is so direct. This just feels like a proper motorsport car. Sounds a bit wanky to say it, but occasionally you will get a car that feels like it's been worked on by people who give a huge amount of a shit about how cars drive. Something like a 911 GT3, all those kind of special cars, this feels like one of those. Everything about it, from the thickness of the steering wheel to the way it responds, to the throttle response, and just the way that four-wheel drive hauls you down the road,
in a quarter of a mile,
feels...
you will arrive at your destination.
Wow. Even sat-nav lady can't diminish my enthusiasm for it. This feels so special to drive. Initial impressions are... It's got so much grip. The four-wheel drive system on this car, because this is a circuit pack car, which is £33,000-ish, you get Torsen diffs, 2 of them, and the four-wheel drive system will send 50% of the power to the back, 50% to the front if you're in track mode. I think it's 60% to the front, 40 to the back in normal mode. Might have got that wrong. But in sport mode, it's 70% of the power and torque goes to the back wheels. You can feel it out roundabouts and corners. It doesn't slide unless you're probably driving far too fast on the road, but you do get the sense that you're being pushed around the corner. But honestly, I've just driven this very quickly off camera because, let's be honest, that's probably safer for everyone. And I've not laughed that much in a car in 2020. Phenomenal thing. Anyway, back to you, Tim. Right, I've done quite a few more miles now in the Toyota GR Yaris, and it's a fascinating thing. That four-wheel drive system, for the first half hour, didn't really matter if I was in sport mode, track mode or normal mode. I can only really sense it working slightly. There's a constant radius corner up there that I know quite well from my motorbiking that I've just done. It did something I did not expect. I went this corner at about 40-50 miles an hour. It's a reasonably tight but very open corner. And as I got on the throttle, the back didn't step out exactly, but it stepped a bit wider and tightened the line into the corner. A hot hatch that you can properly adjust on the throttle. Admittedly, yes, you have to be driving like a bit of a tit, but you know, that's why we buy these cars, isn't it? Because we like driving reasonably quickly. It's quite interesting as well. I might have just turned the stability control off and just stuck it in first gear around a small roundabout in the middle of nowhere, and it will step out about a foot. Like, we're not talking big drifts or oversteer, but 100% can send a lot of torque to the back axle and enough to make it do little skids. So there we go. Sorry to go vloggy on your ass, but I just want to kind of give you some more impressions on this car. It's quite interesting. It's just, I didn't expect it to do this thing where it feels really grippy and tied down, and that lures you into the kind of Audi sense that it's going to be really boring, but it's not boring to drive at all. As you drive faster and faster, like all good drivers' cars, it starts doing different things, and as you start to get confidence in the front end, you do start kind of getting on the power earlier in corners, and you do start feeling the back axle moving around with the torque going back there. It doesn't like step out or anything like that. It just helps you around the corner. You feel it turning the nose in, and it does it in a really natural way. It's not like the old Mark III Focus RS where it just felt completely artificial. It just feels like it's trying to claw its way around the corner in as fast a way as possible, and it's not trying to be dramatic, but it makes you feel like it is a bit of a rally car. So yeah, sorry to jump in here with some I've just had my lunch in a car park thoughts, but I thought it was worth giving them to you. This is what a car looks like when I'm testing it. Just a pile of stuff. This is quite nice. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully the GoPro can pick it up. But you've got a little plaque which says WRC, developed for FIA World Rally Championship. Isn't that cool? You don't get that in a Fiesta ST. I'm not going to fiddle with this because I don't need to. I've just had Apple CarPlay with all my routes on it plugged in. It's a 3-door. I wouldn't use the back. There's some room there for kids. It would work. The lower roof does mean that I'm pretty close to the roof. And actually, although you've got these cutaways, if I had a helmet on for a track day or something, I actually wouldn't fit in here. And my seat is as low as it will go. So there we go. I found a negative of the GR Yaris. Lower roof, great for aero when you were in the actual WRC car and a big rear wing on the end. But actually, you know, with a helmet, I would not fit. There we go. Consumer advice about the Toyota GR Yaris. In the name of sensible consumer advice, there are some things I should tell you about this car. The aluminium doors might save weight, but when you slam them shut from the outside, it sounds a bit, well, like a tin can, but to be honest, that just adds to the whole rally car vibe for me. The brake pedal, boring thing to talk about, it's really sharp,
but not over servoed. It actually feels really nice, and you can really lean on it as well. Gives you loads of confidence braking into corners, and it's not something you normally notice in a car, but it's good in this, so it stands out, and I like it. The other thing I was going to talk about, bit of a negative, because the roof is lower, it feels like the rear view mirror here is lower, and it's kind of almost below my eye level. I'm quite tall though, but yeah, I can't really, I have to look round it. It's right there. If I want to look under it, I have to peek like this. Oh, it just fires you out of corners like that. Sorry, me again. One other thing that I do need to mention is the engine noise. It's a 3-cylinder. It doesn't actually sound that much like every other 3-cylinder. It's not a beautiful noise, certainly. It's quite business-like, but I quite like that. It's quite, I don't know, revs to about 7,500. And it just sounds like, yeah, I don't know. It fits with the whole rally car thing. It sounds mean, it sounds, I don't know, it sounds purposeful.
So in conclusion then, what has Toyota achieved by making this car? Well, they've achieved something that will make enthusiasts very, very happy, because it's amazing fun to drive. And actually, the four-wheel drive system does several different things. Initially, you just think, oh my God, this has just got so much grip that if I ever get it sideways, it's going to be at huge speeds. But as you get used to it, you start to learn the balance of the car, and on some kind of sweeping corners, you can actually steer it on the throttle, kind of like a rear-wheel drive or an old Subaru or something like that. It's really good fun. I don't think you can expect to be doing the kind of rally, skiddy hero stuff that you've seen in all the promotional films, but if you've got a big empty gravel car park, you're going to have a lot of fun with this, I think. The interior, you know, whatever, it's Toyota stuff. It's going to last forever and it's not going to break. It's just not especially luxurious, but who cares? This is a very, very special car, and you know, you'll be able to say that you've basically got the WRC car at home, sort of, in a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of blown me away. It's been a lot of fun, and if you are one of the lucky people that's put down £33,000 and you're going to buy one, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. It gives you a kind of completely different vibe to a Fiesta ST, which is more playful, but it's engineered in playfulness, if you see what I mean. This is quite serious, but the basic chassis mechanics of it are so good that you're just going to have fun with it anyway. Yeah, really quite like it. I'd quite like one. Yes, 30 grand is a lot of money for a small hot hatch, and for that money you could get a bigger car like a Civic Type R or a Renault Sport Megane or something like this, but I think you'd have more fun in this, frankly. So yeah, possibly my new favourite hot hatch. Really like it. Sorry, that was a bit waffly, but yeah, there's a lot to say about this. Anyway, as the flies descend on my muddy Yaris, thank you ever so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit my bell, and I'll see you next time, probably in something less fun than this, because I can't really think what's going to beat this. Goodbye.